Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Jacquelene, and this is A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV coming to you live around the world and from my couch in Melbourne. And Dave, hi there, is off in North Carolina, in Greenville, and kind of exciting times, aren't we, in? It's been interesting because I've actually had people say to me, oh, look, do you think you can do a party in July? And I'm like, can I? We're really wanting you for like 20 people, and I'm sort of like, I'm not seeing that happening, I'm just sort of saying, and this is way back, I think it was March, people asking me about July, and I'm like, can you see what's coming? Like, it's now in the news. It's not even just in here with me and a lot of other sensitive people feeling this stuff coming like last year and 10 years ago. It's like, do you think you can come to a party in July? And I'm sort of like, don't think it's going to be possible, but thanks for the offer. So I've got more booking sort of requests for events, and I really feel for people planning weddings. I mean, this is really full on. And for those going through funerals in Melbourne and Australia, you've got limited number of people you can have. It's a very difficult time for those family celebrations and even family sharing of loss. It's quite huge here. So occasionally I'm getting these sort of, we want to throw a party, we'd like to come along, and that kind of makes me laugh. But then I'm thinking of, hey, all these people who've got really serious things they want to do, not just have me come along and make them laugh a bit, which probably could be needed anyway, frankly. But, I'm thinking for all those people who have got really serious events they want to be able to commemorate and they can't do it. And so it's a time to be very flexible, yeah? Flexible with those around you and flexible with events, and particularly Mercury's retrograde. What is not retrograde right now? Let's face it. We've got Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which we had at the start of January. We've also got it now. The last time that was happening was 2001. So if everyone can remember what that was, and so it's really a time to be very kind and gentle to yourself, to your neighbours, to your family, to just to people around you, kind of be flexible with things. Now, I believe we've got a caller on the line. We've got Jennifer. Are you there, Jennifer? Well, she's somewhere in there. I'm not hearing a thing. So it could be astral planing into the environment, but she's there somewhere. In the meantime, what I'm going to do, because I just got told there's a caller, we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, I'm just going to get into something I found this morning online, and I'm just going to quickly go into this. And it was to all the people with good hearts, one day you'll get what you deserve. And I actually wrote a thing on my business page there on Jacquelene Close Moore on Facebook. And it's like, how about you get what you allow into your life? And I've got a whole reasons of why and what to do there. So I'm going to get and deal with that a bit later. But we've got Jennifer on the line, I believe. You there, Jennifer?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
Hello. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for calling in. And good morning, afternoon and evening. It's from around the world here. So it's really good to have you call in, and thank you for doing that. Can I grab your date of birth, because that allows me to go right in and tune in for you, and then we can get into the areas you want me to look at for you.
Sure. It's August 22nd, 78.
Yeah, okay. Big times for you, and it does feel like you're having to readjust a lot of things here, refiling things into boxes of what is actually useful and what you need to let go of. A lot of pressure around areas of work and money and sense of stability, structure and foundations, and just kind of needing to calm your farm at the moment as best as you can. A lot of boundary issues with people, and also issues around the home, the heart and family, and working out what is in your heart to do. But certainly we've got an overlying energy at the moment this year, of course, of this chaotic stuff going on. But the question you want me to look at for you today, we can go anywhere you want me to look.
Okay, yeah, and you're right on the money with the family and that. But the question I wanted to ask is what you see happening with John and I.
I'm feeling that. I feel like you've got to kind of whoa up those horses, hold on for dear life with yourself here. you know, this is sort of hitting the real core of you. And I really want you to take the time for yourself and be loving to yourself in this situation, and not be, at some points you're like overgiving here, and at other points you're like reactive. And we can go into hyper arousal at times when we're outside our window of tolerance, and that's where we can sort of get a bit snappy and a bit bitey. And it's really important to try and find that middle ground in yourself here, and try and find the peace with you right now, because that's who matters the most in how you deal with this whole situation. I just feel like we've overcome a number of hurdles here, and we have to kind of keep it real for you. So self-care is very important here. 3 months and 3 years, there's this, it's like 3 months ago there's an event, 3 years ago there's another event. It's like, you know, there's a lot of recall of past events going on that are kind of affecting this, and you're having to kind of, you know, really keep this real, keep the integrity of what you're about. And yeah, all I can say is it's kind of like riding a roller coaster at the moment. You just got to kind of hang on, keep your hands and feet inside the ride while we go through Jumanji level 12 overall in the world right now. But certainly, what's going on out there can trickle down into what's going on as an extra stressor, and I think even around health, it's like you have to be patient and diligent on things that matter, you know, around any record keeping, around any sense of what needs to be done today, you know, real world situation in this moment and needs your care and attention, and what's just taking away from the energy and taking away from what's practical, real and grounded. So it's multiple layers you're having to deal with at once here. But any stress you can take out of the situation, the better. It's really important you're not sacrificing yourself to the situation, if that makes sense to you.
A little. Self-care is always important, so yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Sorry, say that again?
I said self-care is always definitely important, and looking inside, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's a roller coaster that I'm getting of events around you that can be really kind of disruptive, and that's the stuff I'm saying you're needing to kind of hold to yourself at the moment in how you deal with this, because otherwise you could be sacrificing what your needs are in this situation, and I could actually be talking about another person around you at the moment to do with that particular statement. But it's like you need to really hold to your own sort of core values, beliefs, and what's actually helpful and happy and good for you in this situation, rather than giving over too much or giving out too much. You're kind of having to hold on to your own beliefs or your own sort of sense of integrity, what's going to work for you, what's healthy for you, what's good for you, because there's a lot of big changes coming up here, and you kind of, you know, you have to really refocus at the moment. What you might think is important just at this moment over the next 6 months is changing dramatically, and certainly if we run out of time I can explain that better to you offline and in a private message with you as well, if you want to go on my Facebook page. But certainly take the care and time you need for you right now in this situation, because there's a lot of things changing, a lot of moving parts that are changing with this, is how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of change and moving parts with family, so that I guess that can make sense and in that regard. That can put stress on
this, and some of the other interactions around those people and around particularly someone else who might be a bit draining at the moment, a bit chaotic, can put stress into this situation or stress into how you're responding in this situation. That's how I'm kind of seeing it in that regard. That's why I'm saying it that way. So even though it's sort of like, hang on, we're not dealing with specifically John here, why not? It's because this other stuff is feeding into this. So it's really important, where possible, be very kind to you at the moment. That gives you more energy, so that when you're relating with him, it's going to be easier to have that clear communication instead of these misunderstandings or feeling that he's saying this when actually he's meaning that. It's like they're can be a bit of miscommunication due to other stresses outside of the two of you. So it's important to kind of create this fortress in the storm, so to speak, really strong and kind of got warm, blankets inside, because you think of fortress, you think of cold stone and weather and lightning and freaky stuff. So you kind of need it to be nice and warm inside with the two of you and very strong on the outside, so that the other things going on outside of this are not intruding so much. I feel that that's the most important thing I could say about this, because I feel like you're quite good together, but we've just got to kind of ease some of the congestion, the confusion, the other sort of things around this, and then this is going to calm down a lot. There's a lot of stuff that you can do together. You can work very practically together once you're both very focused, but when you're sort of getting out of track with each other, that's where it gets a bit lost. So that's what I mean by that. So it's going to be really important to be patient with each other just during this time, and that's what's going to get you a lot more objectivity in the situation and also a lot more progress. But I do see good things here. I'm just like capturing that bit of the stuff that's creating the grind, the irritation, and saying, right, well, that's what we need to change and that's what will get you there. So I hope that helps you today there, Jennifer. Do feel free to connect with me on Facebook if you need any further clarification or need to give feedback on that. More than happy. I'm happy to connect with you just because we're running down on time. So thank you, everyone who's watching, listening, and tune in to A1R and Moonstruck TV for more shows this evening, afternoon and morning around the world. And you can find me once again on Facebook. Go to Jacquelene, post more live. Catch you next week. Lots of love. Bye.